What do farmers need to do to take advantage of this scheme?
It's extremely simple to apply for the scheme. All the farmers would need to do is contact their local Farming Connect coordinator, or they can contact the 0800 number on the Farming Connect service centre down in Aberystwyth. The coordinator would then give them the details of the companies that do deliver this work on farms. Once the farmers decided which company they're going to use to carry out the work, all we would then need from them is a signature. So it's as simple as that.
And there is 80% then funding for farmers?
There is 80% funding for the nutrient management plan to be delivered on farm, yeah.
And is there like a cap then on top?
There is. Each farmer has a maximum of £1,200 to be spent for this element of Farming Connect.
Why did you decide to join the scheme?
I joined the scheme to try and save cost on the farm by testing the soil in every field and getting the results of the pH, the phosphate, the potash and the magnesium, and now I will be using less phosphate and potash because the results of those are quite good, and I'll be saving money for the farm.
But not only money, your time as well?
Yes, hopefully. I will be using less fertiliser, and hopefully again the quality of my stock will improve as well.
And with farming these days, there's a lot of paperwork, but how much paperwork was involved with this scheme?
None on my side, to be honest. Dewi Davies from Agriplan, he's done all the paperwork for me, and he came back with the results and went through them all, every field individually, and explained to me what every field needed.
When you become part of the scheme, what role do you have in it?
Well, once the farmer gets accepted into the scheme, he gets an approval letter from Farming Connect, and then I get an approval as well that comes through the system, and then I phone the farmer and arrange a visit, and then I go through the farming system with himself, sit around the table, find out what he's actually doing at the moment, how much slurry, how much farmyard manure he's producing on the farm. Then we get the maps out and we choose which fields they want to do. Usually the farmer chooses all the fields if he can, because it's grant aided. We find out what he's doing at the present, so and then what he wants to do in the future. So say that he's going to reseed or he's going to put some arable in. We find all those out so we can get the right recommendations for him in the nutrient management plan. Once I take the soil samples, then we get the results back, and then I produce a report that works on every field. I split all the results up in each field, and then I give two recommendations. I give one which includes organic manures, slurry and the farmyard manure, and then one that's just on the fertiliser, the inorganic. So the farmer's got a choice then of what he's going to use.
And it is of great benefit that you can have one-on-one sessions then with the farmer.
Oh yeah, well it's a fantastic scheme really, because you can sit down, you can take your time with the farmer. I always come back to the farm once I complete the reports and run through everything with him. So because there's a lot of my time goes into the report, the last thing I need is the farmer just not using it. I mean, it's obviously his decision to go with the recommendations. He might not do every field, but it will be a cost benefit for him. I mean, with the best thing to get out from this report for farmers is to get the pH right. I think once you get the pH right, then everything else will fall into place.
But the elements like magnesium and potash, they are very important elements for the health of the animals as well.
Yeah, it's very important to monitor the magnesium and the potash levels in the soil, especially if you're a cattle farmer of any kind really, from dairy to suckler herds. High potash levels can mean there could be a chance of getting staggers in your stock, especially if you're putting down the wrong kind of fertiliser in the spring. The field might have high potash levels and you're putting 20-10-10 down. You could, well, the risk of getting staggers rises quite quickly, especially, well, and with magnesium as well. If you've got high magnesium levels, then you have a lockup of other trace elements, such as copper and selenium. That could cause infertility in your stock, so you need to be able to monitor those as it will impact your business.
The soil does vary all across Wales?
Oh, well, yes, it varies quite a lot, really. When we do take the soil samples, we check what kind of soil type it is. So if you've got, sandy soil, or sandy loam, as they call it, you have to have the timing and application rates quite spot on, really, with that kind of soil. Because the soil is so, it loses all its nutrients quite quickly. You have to be there at the right time with the right amounts, or you have a lot more waste, which means the farmer could be throwing money away. With clay soils, they could hold on nutrients for longer, although they're quite heavy soils.
Do you see a lot of farmers taking advantage of this, or is it a pretty slow uptake?
We have had farmers taking advantage of the project, but it would be really good to see more taking advantage of. We're very fortunate in Wales to have such a fantastic project as Farming Connect, and I think as farmers we should be taking advantage of everything that could possibly reduce our costs.